Have you worked from home because of coronavirus? You were forced, because your office was shut or your normal workplace was shut, you're forced to do work at home. If so, then you are able to claim some tax back from the government, an allowance which, as long as you did this, you can claim it back for the entire year, even if it was just one day that you were actually at home. The rest of the time you were working as normal or furloughed, whatever it was, if you had at least one day in this financial year, the 2020-21 financial year, you can claim some money back. Could be as much as £140. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I will take you through who's eligible and then take you step by step how you can apply. It's really, really, really easy. I'm Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching me here on YouTube. I'm a money blogger. I've been doing this over on BeCleverWithYourCash.com, which is my site for the last 7 years or so. And I love finding the ways to help you make the most of your money. So if that sounds interesting and you want to get more videos just like this one every single week, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you won't miss any of them as soon as they're released. Right, let's get into it. Let's talk about this tax relief for working from home. As I said, this is for anyone who has been got a job, they're employed, and because of that coronavirus lockdown and being able to go into the workplace, you spent at least one day working from home over the last year, then you can make an application for this money. And essentially for this financial year, which ran from April the 6th, 2020, and it will run until April the 5th, 2021, there is a weekly allowance set at £6. Now, you might actually find that your employer has paid you this £6 extra allowance straight away, and they've been doing that throughout the year. If they've done that, well, you aren't eligible to claim any extra money back. But if they haven't, and I think a lot of places haven't done that, then you can actually put in this claim. Now, in a normal year, you can only put in that claim for the time you actually are spending at home, working from home. But they've changed it because they know so many people have been affected this year and they don't want them to go through all the forms and the faff. They've created, this is the government, HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Custom, have created a kind of quick, simple way just to try and make it happen almost instantaneously without all the faff and the rigmarole and all the admin it will put on people. And they've done it, as I say, for any single day for the entire year. Now, you don't get £6 back for every single week, which would be fantastic. What you do is you get tax relief on that £6 allowance. So how much you're actually going to be able to claim back depends on how much tax you pay right now. If you are a basic rate taxpayer, which basically means you pay 20% tax on most of your income, obviously everyone has that personal allowance of about 12.5 grand where you don't pay tax, but above that, 20% on that, then you will get 20% of that £6, so £1.20 times 52, and that works out at around £62 that you would get back. If you are a higher rate taxpayer, which means you're earning right now above 50 grand, so you're paying 40% tax on anything above 50k, well then you're going to get 40% of that £6 for every week back. So that's double what you had before, £2.40 a week, and around 120 quid, something like 124 quid, 125 quid for the entire year. Now, if a small number of people, because there's not many people in this bracket, if you're an additional rate taxpayer, that means you're paying 45% tax on your top earnings. And if that's you and you're eligible for it, then you can earn a little bit more. It works out at £2.70 a week. That's what 45% of that £6 is, 140 quid for the entire year. So this is the amount of money you might be able to get back for just a few quick little clicks of the mouse. It won't take you very long at all. As I promised, I'll take you through that in a minute. But a few things, caveats first of all. Let's just go through, just to clarify exactly who can do this and who can't do it. Obviously, you have to have been forced to work from home, required to work from home because of coronavirus. That's given, we've established that already. Doesn't account if you are someone who already works at home. This has to be a change, okay? You have to be told, right, you can't come to the office, so you have to be at home. And you have to have incurred some additional costs as a result of being at home, which, let's face it, you will have done. Heating bills, all sorts of things like that. Extra costs, broadband, maybe some phone calls, whatever it might be you've had to make because you're at home rather than in the office or the workplace. They count as extra costs. So you have to be able to do commit to those things. You have to make sure you haven't already been paid, as I mentioned, by your employer, so they haven't already done that. But if those things are all true, then you can put in this claim. To use this kind of microsite, which I'll take you through in a minute, which makes it a lot easier, it takes it really, really quick process. You also can't already fill in a self-assessment form at all. If you do that, then you have to claim for this when the financial year is over in your self-assessment form. Okay, so delay that, you can't do it right now, but once the financial year is finished and you do that form, ideally you'll do it closer to April 2021 than leaving it to the deadline of January 2022, but you can still claim for this, but you can't do it right now. Also, if you have worked from home in previous years, you can make an application as well for those years. You can backdate it a certain number of years as well. That flat rate is smaller, and you'll only be able to claim for the weeks that you are at home. This kind of entire year, even if it's one day, it's a coronavirus thing. That's it. Other previous years, then it will just be a shorter amount of time, but you can do that, backdate that process. But again, you can't use the microsite for that. Right, let's jump on over to the site and have a look at exactly what you need to do. So this is it. This is the website here on the government gov.uk website. I will link to it in the notes below so you can find it. I've also got an entire article taking you through this with a link that's in there as well. Essentially, this is all about the different, part of it is about all the different kind of home tax things you can do. There's also about uniforms and work clothing, vehicles used for work, things like that. But the focus here, the tab we're on, is working from home. Goes over a lot of the stuff that we've just spoken about here, how much you'll be able to claim the allowance, how you can do it. What you want to do, click this one. Check if you can claim. So you click that and it gives you a series of short questions. Are you only claiming tax relief on the expenses for working from home? Yes. Okay, this is what you're doing. To get this quick and easy option, you want to hit yes. The next thing, do you complete a self-assessment return? Now, I do this, right? I do have a self-assessment return each year, but just for the purpose of showing you what's going on, I'm going to say no. Because remember, you can't go through this microsite if you do a self-assessment. Then this is a really important one again. Has your employer paid your expenses for working from home? Now, if they have already, yes, all of my expenses, then you can't use this because you've already had essentially that same amount of money come through to you. But you can, a couple of options here. What you want to do is no, none of my expenses. And again, if you hit continue. Next question, did you start working from home because of coronavirus? Again, you want to answer here yes, because that's going to give you, makes you eligible for this. Now, you can claim tax relief for your work-related expense online. Fantastic, brilliant. So we know we can do it, we're eligible to do it. The next step is you need to make sure you have a government gateway ID. This is the kind of thing that I'm sure a lot of you already got. If you want to check your state pension contributions, you want to sign up for all sorts of things, probably your driving license, I don't know, loads of things, you need a government gateway ID. So you've probably already got one. If you haven't, it says here, it only takes 10 minutes to set one of these up. You need your national insurance number, and in addition, a recent payslip, a P60, or a valid UK passport. Got that information, you should be able to set up in 10 minutes. I mean, when I did mine years ago, it was all a bit of a faff and it took a long time, but it sounds like it's a lot faster now, which is fantastic. So you do that, once you've signed in, you can claim your tax relief online. Now, because I already do my self-assessment, I'm not actually eligible, so I'm not going to take you through the next steps because I'm not going to log in because I can't do it. But if you do, there's literally 3 more screens. One of them just goes over everything we've already established, making sure that you are eligible. Again, just checking you've read those things properly. The next one is to enter the date in which you started working from home. Now, we're talking about the last financial year, which is the 6th of April 2020. So for lots of people, you might think that's the date you put in to cover the entire year. But actually, because lockdown began on the 23rd of March 2020, if you put that date in, as long as you were forced to work from home, required to work from home because of COVID from that date, and let's face it, most of us were because of lockdown, and then you might be able to get an extra couple of weeks added in as well. Then you hit confirm, and then it will come up with a page which basically says, look, we'll get in touch by post and let you know what's going on. Once that is done and you get that confirmation, don't expect a check to come in the post. Don't expect money to be paid into your account straight away to make up for the tax that you've already paid. What will actually happen is they will alter your tax code. And that basically means that your employer will give you more money or pay less tax based on your tax code. Now, if you did this when that microsite was first launched in October, then those payments, that money would have been stretched out over what, 6-7 months, something like that. Because we're doing this right now, I'm recording this in the middle of February 2021, we've only got what, 6, 7, 8 weeks until the end of the financial year. So actually you'll find that that amount of money will probably come quite fast. You'll probably find that suddenly you've taxed a lot less, maybe the whole amount, that 60 quid, 120 quid in your March payslip if you do this fast. If you miss that, then I guess they'll just carry it over to next year, in which case they might find it spread out over the entire year. I don't know for certain, but I would absolutely get on this straight away. I wouldn't leave it to the next financial year starts on April 6, 2021. I would get this done right away. Now, we're still obviously here in the UK under lockdown. We don't know quite how measures are going to change. We don't know how much that's going to impact us throughout the 2021-2022 financial year. So what we don't know right now is whether this will carry on, whether you'll be able to claim for the entire next financial year, or whether they might just go back to the previous rules where you can only claim for the weeks that you actually were working from home, and in which case they probably won't have the microsite. You probably have to go through the other format, the other process. But right now, this is the way to do it, and I would get on it, straight away. Now, if you found this video useful, if you think I have saved you some money, perhaps even made you a little bit of money via this tax relief, please do hit that like button below. It's really, really useful in helping YouTube know that this is a good video and it will help other people. And don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell as well so you don't miss my future videos. My name's Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, cheers. And here are a couple more videos you might find interesting.